Okay, so once again, I welcome you all in today's session on strings in Python programming. So in today's session, we are going to talk about strings data type especially. So string is a sequence which is made up of one or more Unicode characters. Okay, so whatever you will store in a string, okay, that will be treated as a Unicode character. So you can store a letter or a digit or white space, even blank space will be treated also as a character, or any other symbol you can take. Okay, so whatever you will write within quotes like single quote or double quote or triple quote, so that will come under your string. So a string can be created by enclosing one or more characters in single, double or triple quote. So that is the beauty of Python programming language, that you can use either single quote or double quote, or even you can use triple quote also. Okay, so within quotes you will write your string. Okay, so now let me go to our Jupyter notebook where we have a string str1. So name of our string is str1. Okay, and we have this hello world and then exclamatory mark. Okay, so this is our string. Okay, so that's why we are writing it within double quotes. If you will write it within single quotes also, that will also be treated as a string in Python programming. And you can write within double quotes also, that will be also treated as string in Python programming. Even we can use triple quotes also. So first of all, what we are going to do, that we will take it, we will write this string within single quote. Okay, within single quote. So str1 we have, and now we will check the type of str1. str1. So you will find that for type of str1, what we are getting, str means string. So it is of class string. Okay, because string is a class in Python programming language, and you are, if you are creating any string, so that will belong to that class string. So for string you are getting str. Okay, so similarly we can create another string and we can write, for example, hello Python learners. So that we can write within double quotes, so that will be also treated as a string. So we will write that type, we will check that str2. So for str2 also you will get str, means it is of string class, it is from string class. And similarly we can do for str3, and here we are going to use triple quotes. Okay, so for triple quote what we can do, 1 2 and 3 we will use, and here we will write hello Python students. Okay, so within triple quotes also we can write, and if you will check this thing, type str3, then you will find that for str3 also we are getting class string. Okay, so we can use any single quote, double quote or triple quote, but we have to keep in mind, we have to take care that if you are starting a string with a single quote, then you should end it also with single quote. If you are starting with double quote, then you have to end it with double quote. If you are starting with triple quote, so obviously you have to end with triple quote. Okay, so that you have to take care. If you are going to write like this, like str4, and if you will write, like if you are starting from single quote, like hello, and if you are not going to end with single quote, if you by mistake if you are ending it with double quote, then you will get error. Okay, that is a syntax error, unterminated string literal detected at line 1. It means at line 1 some string literal has not been terminated. It means you have to terminate it with single quote if you are starting with single quote. If you are starting with double quote, then you have to end it with double quote. Okay, so that is the point that you have to take care whenever you are going to create any string. One more thing that you have to keep in mind, that if you are going to create any string and if you are using triple quote, then you can use hello all, I am fine. Okay, and in next line I am going to write how are you or something else, and the next line I am going to write where are you now. Okay, so something like we can write. Okay, so multiple line string also we can create with the help of triple quotes, that I wanted to tell you actually. So we will first run this thing, and you will check that type str5 is also a string. So if you have a string that contains multiple lines, okay, so if you want to store a multiple line string, then you should use this triple quote. Okay, if you will try to do this with double quote or single quote, then you will get error. So let me check that. If we are going to create a string 6, and for multiple line string, if you will use single quote, for example single quote first, we should try, then you will find that. Okay, so if you will write like that, so you will get syntax error, because if you have multiple line string, then you should use triple quotes. Okay, if you will write a multiple line string with single quote or double quote, then you will get syntax error, unterminated string literal. Okay,
No, sir. Double quotes. It's taking, sir, two sentence.
okay, let me try that thing. So if we are going to create a string with double quote, but that string is multiple line, so if that string is multiple line, then what we can do, so this is a multiple line string. Okay, so we started with double quote, end with double quote, but this is a multiple line string, that is the point only. So we can write it like str7, so you will get a syntax error. Okay, so whenever you want to create a multiple line string, you have to use triple quotes. Okay, for single quote or for double quote, if you are creating multiple line string, then you will get error, syntax error. Okay, so I hope that point is clear, Deepika.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or in your editor you are getting no error for this thing also.
Actually, that was I have taken as comma, so it is taking means it is taking one sentence. Na, if we
Okay,
are not giving comma, then only it will be three four lines like that.
okay,
So I
okay,
have
okay.
okay.
So I hope you got this point. So you have to keep in mind that for multiple line string we have to use triple quotes. Okay, so let me try one thing more, that triple quotes means single quote three times we are writing here. Okay, so we can try this, as I can recall, we can try this for three times of double quotes also, but let me check. So three times of double quote, and let me check that thing. Three times of double quote, then we will again end it with three times of double quote. Okay, so three times, I think it was four times, so three times double quote in a starting, at end also. Okay, now we will run this, so you can see that we can write multiple line strings also with triple quotes, but here the quote is actually double quote three times that we are writing. Okay, so we can check for type of string. So that was the point that I wanted to tell you, that multiple line strings you can write with okay, this triple quotes also, or you can use double quotes three times. Okay, at the beginning, at the end. Okay, so you can see str8 is also of a string type. So I hope you got this point. So next we are going to discuss about, so Next, we will go for str1, 2, 3, 4 are all string variables having the same value, hello world. So if you are going to create with single quote, double quote, or triple quote, it will be string variable. Okay, so that was the point. And value, whatever you will write within single quote, double quote, that will be your string. So values stored in str3 and 4 can be extended to multiple lines. That's I told you that for multiple line you can use single quote 3 times at beginning and at end also. Otherwise you can use double quote 3 times, double quote 3 times. Okay, that also you can use, that I told you. Next thing is that accessing characters in string. It means if you want to access a particular character of your string, then how you can access. Okay, so for that we have indexing system. Okay, so same, that indexing system will be same as we have in arrays in C or C++ if you will talk, or if you will talk in terms of Python, in lists we have indexing system. So same type of indexing system we will follow for string also. Okay, so if you want to access first character, so the index for first character will be 0, and the last character, for the last character, the index will be n minus 1. So let me show you one diagram actually. So if your string is hello world like this, okay, so after hello, let me point out this thing, that after hello, if there is a blank space, okay, one space is there, blank space, then that will also be treated as a character. And then after that we have world and then exclamatory mark. So what will be the index, okay, of these characters if you are following positive indexing like 0? So for H, it means index will be 0. So first character will have index 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4 till 11 we will go. Okay, because total 12 characters we have in hello, then a space, then world, then exclamatory mark. So total 12 characters we have. So we will have index from 0 to 11. If you are following negative indexing, as we know that in Python programming we can use negative indexing concept also. So in negative indexing, from right we have to start, and from right it will start with -1, then -2 till -12 we will go. Okay, so I hope you got this point, that positive indexing also we can follow, that will start with 0 from left, and in negative indexing approach it will start from right and start with value -1. So in negative indexing it will go like -1, -2, -3 till -12. Okay, so that was the point about indexing. If you are going to discuss about strings, next there is a question that if you have this string hello world, then what is the length of the string? Now question is that what is the length of the string? So there may be an answer that total how many characters we have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So you are going to count this space or not as a character. So let me tell you, if your string is like that, if you are writing in programming within quotes, okay, so then this space will also come within your string. Okay, in your string, so this space, if this is a simple single blank space, then this will be also treated as one character. Okay, and completely, okay, complete string will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this space will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 12 characters will be there. So what will be the length of the string? Simply 12. Okay, what will be the length of the string? It will be 12. I hope you got this point. Okay, but in C or C++, if you will compare, mostly we have one null character at the end automatically in C or C++, if you can recall. Okay, but in Python it's so simple, whatever you will write if for your string, okay, only those characters will be considered. Okay, there will be no additional character. But let me tell you that if you will give any blank space, any space, so that will also be treated as a character. Okay, so whatever you have within quotes, okay, that will be your string. So length of the string is 12. So let me check this thing with the help of Python code, that if we have str1, first of all, let me check that what we have in str1. So we have hello world, this string in str1. Next, what we can check, length of this string. So for that we have a function len. We have a function len. to check the length of that string. So that you will get 12. Okay, so how this is 12? Because HELLOs, it means 1 2 3 4 5, then is space, it means 6 7 W, 8 9 10 11, and exclamatory mark is 12. Okay, so that's why we have 12 characters. So that's why the string length of the string will be 12 here. Okay, so that was the point that I wanted to tell you. Next is, what is the first character of this one? So of course first character will be H. And what is the last character? So last character will be D or exclamatory mark or null character.
Exclamatory mark.
Of course it will be exclamatory mark if you are doing this is string manipulation, a string operation in Python. But if you can recall, if you have basic knowledge of C or C++, then in C or C++ we have a null character in a string at the as the last character for every string. Okay, but here we don't have that type of thing, that type of concept. Next is character at index 5. So what we have as character at index 5? Because index, for indexing we can do this thing. So index 5. So index 5 means we will start with 0 and then we will come to index 5, and index 5 is simply blank space. Okay, so what will be the character at this thing? Okay, so that we will try to check with the help of programming. So for str1, first of all we will write for 0. It means what is the first character for str1? So it is H, because in hello world first character is H. That's why for index 0 you will get H. So next we will try for index equal to 5. So for that you will get nothing, within quotes you will get nothing. It means space, simple a blank space. Okay, so these were the very basic questions about a string that we should know. So you will get nothing for index 5 because it is a blank space. Okay, so blank space will also be considered as a character. Next, str10 we got H. If you will write str16, so we will get W. Str1 of 11, so at index 11 it will be exclamatory mark. And if you will write, for example, if you are going to write str1, and then after that if you are writing 15, so you can see that we don't have index number 15 in our string, because that last exclamatory mark will have index 11. If you will write 15, then of course you should get index error, string index out of range. It will be same as that we discussed for list also. Okay, so if you will write any index that is out of the range, so you will get index error for that. So that's so simple. Next we will go to the point that index can also be an expression including variables, operators, but the expression must evaluate to an integer. So you can write your index of the string in terms of expressions like str1, and then if you are going to write 1 plus 2, so 1 plus 2 means 3. So whatever character you will have at this index 3, that you will get simply, so you can write like this, there will be no problem in that. Okay, so L we will get for str3, or you can write str1 and then 8 minus 1. Okay, so like that also we can write str1 of 8 minus 1, it means 7. So at 7th index we will have 0, oh sorry, O. So you can write index number, okay, in expressions also, but that should be evaluated to an integer, because index should be an integer value. If you will write str1 and 4.5 if you will write, okay, so same as that in the case of list we got error, so same type of error you will get. Okay, string indices must be integers. So we have to keep in mind this point, that for index you have to use any integer value or any expression if you are using, so that should be evaluated to an integer. Okay, so we can't use float for index. So that was the point. Next we are going to the thing that we can use negative indexing also, that I told you, that str1 of -1 we can use -12. So we will check. So first of all, let me show you that what we have in str1. So we have in str1 we have hello world, okay. And if you will write str1 of -1, so at -1 we will have this last element, it means exclamatory mark, okay, because from right we will start if we are following negative indexing. And simply we can write str1 and -12. So you will get H. So for -12, we will get H. Why we are getting H? Because in negative indexing, if you will see this picture, so in negative indexing -1, it means exclamatory mark, and for index -12, that is H. Okay. So this was the basic concept, okay, about strings. Next, we will go to, so we have already discussed that we can follow positive indexing for a string and negative indexing also for a string. Next we will go for gives the length of the string. So to find the length of a string, we can use this len function, okay, that we have already discussed. And we can use this value n as n-1 and -n also. So that, let me try this thing. If we are going to store the length of a string in a variable like str1, so we can store this length of string 1 str1, okay, also in a variable n. So we can do that. And now you can write like str1, and if you will write -n, -n means actually n will hold what? Actually, first let me show you that n will hold that length of a string. It means it will have simply 12. Okay. So if you can use this n whenever you want to use this value 12. Okay. So str1, if you will write n-1, so you will get exclamatory mark. Why? Because n-1 means 12 minus 1. 12 minus 1 means 11. So if you are writing n-1 in place of index, okay, so it will be evaluated and it will be equal to 11. So str1 of index 11. So this exclamatory mark character will be printed. And similarly, you can do -n. -n means -12. So negative indexing. So in negative indexing, what was there in -12? So -12, we have H. So for -12, we will get H. So that we can check here. So str1 of -n, -n means -12, we will get H. Okay. So after this thing, we will go to the point that string is immutable. So uh, you can recall that in yesterday's session we discussed that list is mutable, okay. And let me tell you once again that what do we mean by mutable and immutable. So mutable means we can change element wise, okay, we can change a particular element of that sequence, it means it is mutable. Immutable, it means you can change a particular element of that sequence, okay. So in list, as we discussed in yesterday's session, that you can change a particular element of a list, okay, directly you can change fifth element, second element, okay. But in a string you can't do like that. If you want to change, then you have to change the whole string, okay. Otherwise you can't change a particular character, okay. After creating a string, for example, you created a string, and after that, if you want to change a particular character, that is not allowed in Python programming for strings, okay. So that's why string is immutable. So first thing that we have to keep in mind is what is mutable, what is immutable. And next thing is list is mutable and string is not mutable. Not mutable means immutable, okay. So let me show you with help of Python code that why we call a string as immutable. So let me show you that what we have in str1. So in str1 we have this string, okay. Now we want to change this w, okay, this w of str1 with, for example, m. Okay, so if for that, what you have to do, str1, and what will be the index number of this w? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so first of all, let me show you that what we have at str1 of index number 6. So we have w at is index number 6 of str1. So now if you will try like this, that str1, okay, of sixth index, for index number 6, if you are going to put directly m, okay, and if you will try this thing, then you will get a type error. Str object does not support item assignment. It means item wise you can't assign, item wise you cannot change. Okay, it means a particular item cannot be changed for a string. That is the only point that you have to keep in mind. So that's why we call a string as immutable. Okay, so whenever you have to uh, illustrate, or whenever you have to give example that why string is immutable, why we call a string as immutable, so then you will tell that simply we can't change a particular element of a string. Okay, so like that we tried to change this w with m, and that is not allowed. We will get some error for that, type error for that. So that's why if you will try to change a particular element, that is not allowed in Python programming for strings. Okay, so that's why strings are immutable in Python. So I hope you got this point. Now there is a question that if we want to store, or if we want to change this str1, that is hello world and then exclamatory mark, and we want to change this w with m, then what we can do? Okay, because element wise we can't change, but we want to change this w with m, and we want to store that again in str1, because we can create a new string, but that will not be the same string actually. Okay, we can create str2, str3, and we will write m in place of w. But if you want to store, okay, m in place of w in the same string str1, then what you can do? You can do one thing. Simply you will reassign or recreate this string, and you can change all the elements. The complete string you can change, but a particular element you can't change. Okay, so that is the point that also you should know, that a particular element we can't change, but if you want to change the complete string, that we can do str1, because this is a variable, so it can vary its complete value. Okay, so str1, and here we will write hello morld and then exclamatory mark. Okay, so here we can replace this w with m. So actually by this code, or by this line, we are creating a new string, or we can say that we are rewriting the complete string. We are rewriting, we are overwriting, okay, with this new string. So that will work, there will be no issue. Now if you will check in str1, then you will get m in place of w. So that you can do. Complete string you can change, but a particular element of a string you can't change. Okay, so that was the point that we should know about a string is immutable. Okay, and you will get a type error if you will try to change a particular element of that string, a particular character of that string, that will generate a type error. Okay, next we will come to the section of string operations. It means what different operations we can perform on strings. So first thing is about concatenation. It means we can join two strings. So that is so simple. We will try to do that, and we will use this symbol plus, okay, for concatenation. So let me show you what we have in str1. In str2, or str2, let me write, or what we have in str2, let me check. We have hello Python learners. So if you will write like that, str1 plus str2, so you will concatenate, and it will be simply, okay, joined.
So
So
yesterday it's over, I think.
yesterday,
Concatenation. It's detected, sir. Already over this topic.
but that
Concatenation.
was for list actually, but that was for list.
Okay, okay.
Okay, for a string also we can do concatenation. So that was the point. So you will find that if you will go through the operations for one data type, so most of the operations we can perform for other data type. If there will be any change for any particular data type, that we have to keep in mind only. Okay, so concatenation we can do, we can apply for lists also. Concatenation we can apply for strings also. Next we will go for repetition. So same, repetition means you can multiply a string with 2 or 3 that value, and it will simply repeat your string. Okay, so that also we discussed that we can apply for lists also. So same type of thing. So that's why I will not give more time to that. Simply I will show you that an example only. Str1 into 3, it means we want to repeat this string 3 times. So that we can do with the help of this hello mode, hello mode, hello mode, because we have hello mode in that. So first of all, let me change that thing in that. Now we have hello world. Okay, and then exclamatory mark. So now we have str1 as hello world and exclamatory mark. So that repetition we can allow. Membership, it means if you want to check that particular string or a character exist in that character or in that string or not. Okay, it means if you want to check that a particular character or a particular substring is part of a string or not, so for that we have membership operators. Okay, in and not in. So first of all, let me check in. So if you want to check that this character w, okay, this character w is part of our string str1 or not. So is and is not. So is a membership operator. Okay, so this is a membership operator that we will use. The w, this character w is part of this string or not. So you will get results in true or false. So of course w is there in str1, so you will get true. W is str1, sorry, W is str1. So in and not in. So we should use in actually in place of this. In and not in. Sorry, it's not is. So W in str1. So W, okay, that exists in str1. So that's why we will get true. And you can check a substring also. Like, for example, if you want to check RLD. Okay, so RLD is in str1 or not. Okay, that also you can check true. So a substring, okay, or a collection of characters also you can check, okay, with in membership operator. Next you can do for not in. For example, in hello world and exclamatory mark, we don't have n. Okay, so we will check for n and in str1. Okay, in str1. So of course this small n is not in this string, so that's why we will get false. Okay, same we can check for not in. So we will check for n, okay, and not in str1. So what should be the result, true or false? You can try on your Python editor. N
True, true. It
not,
will be true.
it will be true because we are using this not in membership operator. It means it will check for not in. It means it is not there in your string. So it is true actually. N is not the part of this string. So that's why you will get true. Okay. So these are very simple things that you can do easily. So not in we discussed. Then slicing. Okay, so same as we discussed for lists, same slicing concept we can apply for strings also. Okay, so we will start with some easy examples. So if you have, for example, str1 1 to 5, so what you will get? Okay, let me show you. So first of all, we will check that what we have in string 1, str1. Okay, so in str1 we have this thing, and if you are going to write 1 colon 5, so what do we mean by 1 colon 5? It means it will print all the characters which are at index number 1 to 4. Okay, it means index number 1, we have what we have, that will be printed. Then index number 2, whatever character we have, that will be printed. 3, character at index number 3 will be printed, character at index number 4 will be printed. But let me tell you, if you are writing here 5, then it will stop the processing at 4. Okay, one step before it will stop the processing. So first of all, let me show you that what we have at string at 1 2 3 4. 5 will not be taken. It means E, L, L and O will be printed. Okay, E, L, L and O will be printed. So if you will write like this, E, L, L, O will be printed. Okay, because fifth character, that is blank space actually, but that will not be printed. Okay, so if you are writing 1 colon 5, it means 1 to 4. Okay, index number will be considered, and whatever characters will be there at index number 1 to 4, that will be printed only. Okay, so same we can do for any other example. Let me take, so if you are going to write 7 to 10, okay, so let me write here str1 and 6 to 9. So what will be the output for str1 6 to 9? Just check on your Python editor. What will be the output for str1 6 to 9? Just try to do on your Python editor.
WOR.
Okay, WOR. Because 6 to 9 means it will consider only characters at index number 6, 7 and 8. It will not go till 9. Okay, it will not go to 9. So 6, 7 and 8, WOR. Okay, so 6, 7 and 8, WOR. Okay, so that was the point about slicing. And we can do that thing that if first index is not mentioned, slice start from 0. Okay,
Sir, for me it is taking space W.
space W. So what you are using, 6 colon 9 you are using?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, space W only it is printing?
Space WO.
Space WO. Okay, okay.
Because it's 6 is the space. That's why.
6 is the space. Let me check. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is your string actually? Actual string is HELLO or HELO only? That you should check first.
My string is different. That's why.
So that's why you are getting.
Mm.
Okay, so as per your string characters you will get the result. So there is no problem in that. So next point that we have to keep in mind, that you can skip this start portion of your slice. Okay, so let me check that thing, that if we are writing str1 and then colon and then for example 4, if you are writing, so we are not writing 1 to 4, 0 to 4. Okay, we are not going to write anything, that from where, which index number it should start for slicing. So in that case it will start with index number 0. Okay, so index number 0 means H will be there, 0, 1 E will be there, 2 L will be there, and 3 next L will be there, but 4 will not be taken. As we know, in slicing it will stop the processing at one step before. Okay, before this value. So we will get only HELL. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, because if we are not going to write this first portion of our slice, then it will automatically start with 0. So let me check that thing. So HELL. Okay, only this thing will be printed. Okay, I hope you got this point. So if you will skip the first portion of your slice, then it will start with 0. Next point is that if you will skip last portion or second portion, we can say, of your slice, then it will go till end. It will go till end. Okay, so it will go so that we can check that str1, and if you are writing for example 6 to Okay, this second portion of our slice, if we are going to skip, then 6 will come, 7 will come, 8 will come, okay, 9 will come, 10 will come, 11 will come. So at 11th index, whatever we will have, that will come. Okay, so it means till the end it will go, whatever be the last index character, that will come. Okay, so this exclamatory mark, till this exclamatory mark you will go. Okay, so it means it will automatically go till n plus 1, because if you are not going to write anything, it will go till the end character, last character, we can say. Okay, so I hope you got this point. And we can write step portion also for slicing. If you want to jump with 2, so that you can write, and we can use string, sorry, negative indexing also for slicing, so that we have discussed for list also. So similar things we can do. Next we will go to traversing a string. So how we can traverse a string? So if you want to print each and every character of a string, then we can use this for loop. Okay, so let me try that thing. So if we have str1, and then if you are writing for ch in str1, and then colon, and then print ch, okay, then actually ch will represent each character of your string str1. Okay, so all the characters will be printed simply. So for loop we can use, so HELLOOWORLD and exclamatory mark, so all characters we can print like this for using for loop. Okay, similarly we can use while loop also. So similarly we can use while loop also. Next we will come to one important section, okay, that is about built-in functions for string manipulations. It means in Python we have so many built-in functions, already available functions, we can say, okay, that we can use for different type of string manipulation. So whenever we want to do that type of manipulation, we have to use that built-in function. So first one is title. So it returns the string with first letter of every word in the string in uppercase and rest in the lowercase. It means if you will use this function title, so title will do what? It will simply do this thing, that it will return your string, okay, and it will actually change the first letter of every word. Okay, so every uh, first letter of every word will be changed in uppercase. So for that, let me show you that if you have a string like str2, okay, and str2, if we have, for example, hello Python learners. Okay, so you can see that we have all these characters in a small case, okay, or lower case, we can say. Okay, and first of all, let me show this thing, that str2 we have like this. But now what we want to do, we want to capitalize, we want to write all these first letter of these words in uppercase. Okay, so only first letter or first character we want to change. So for that we can do str2 title. Okay, so hello, so H will be in capital, P will be in capital, L will be in capital, or we can say in uppercase. Okay, otherwise if your string will be in lowercase, then only first character will be changed. Okay, so other characters, okay, of each word will not be changed. That is, next thing is that lower. So lower will return with all uppercase letters converted to lowercase. So what it will do actually, if you have a string like that, str3, okay, and in that if you have some hello and then Python and then learners. Okay, so in str3 we have hello in small letters, then Python in capital, then learner, only L is capital, other characters are in small. Okay, so if you want to change the whole string, it means all the characters in a small letter, then you can do like that, str3 dot lower. Okay, let me check this thing. Lower function we will use. Lower means lower case will be applied for all the characters. So hello Python learner, it means Python, this was in capital, so it will be changed in lowercase. So the whole string will be actually converted and all the characters will be written in small letters. Okay, in lowercase we can say. Next we will go to this thing. So upper will do what? So now you can guess easily. Okay, there is no need to write all the code, you can guess easily. Okay, into lowercase. So all the characters will be converted into lowercase, that you can keep in mind. Okay, and upper means all the characters will be changed into uppercase. So you can check this example. Hello world, HELL, all are in capital. Next we have count. So if you want to count a particular string, okay, so that a particular string, whenever it is going to occur in your actual string, so that you can count. So returns number of times substring str occurs in the given string. If we do not give a start index and an index, then searching starts from index 0 and ends at length of the string. So before going to this statement, let me show you that simple use of this thing, that what it will return, number of times a substring str occurs in the given string. Okay, so what you can do, for example, we will use this function count. Hello 12 and 25 we are using. So start and end. Okay, so 12 and 25, so how many times it is going to be repeated? Okay, number of times substring occurs in that given string. So for that, first of all, we will take a string, for example str5, in which we will write hello world, and then we will write, or we will write all those things in a small first. Hello world, then hello Python learners, and then hello Python students. And then once again hello all. Okay, so now you can check that how many times this hello world is coming in your string. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so now if you want to check that how many times hello occurs in your string, so you will write str1, then count, and within parentheses you will write this hello. Okay, and if you want to check from which character to which character, that also you can specify, and otherwise if you will not write, simply it will count, okay, this substring in your string from start to end. So from start to end, if you will consider, hello will come 1, 2, 3 and 4 times. Okay, so for that we will check. So str1 count hello, for hello we are getting 0. So let me check that thing. Start, it means we will start with 0, and end means we will end till which one? So 0. So what is the length of this str5? Let me check that thing first. Okay, so first of all we will check length of str5. str5 65. So what we will write here, 0 to 64. Okay, because 0 to 64, from 0th index to 64th index, we have to check that hello occurs how many times. So that we want to check now. So str1 hello 0 to 64. So again we are getting this thing at 0. Why? Let me check. Returns number of times substring str occurs in the given string hello 1225. So why hello is not there? Let me check once again that why hello is not there. str1, because in str we don't have, we should use str5, because this one is str5. Okay, so that's why we have to use str5 here. Okay, that was the mistake. So now let me check this thing. This one, then this one. So you can see that from 0 to 64, it means if you will start with index number 0, okay, and if you will go to all the characters till the character at index number 64, because we have total 65 characters, so index number for last character will be 64. So 0 to 64 we have to check, and then this count function will check that how many times this hello is coming within this string. So 1 2 3 4. Okay, so that was the point about count function. And there is one more point about count function, that if we do not give a start index and end index, then searching starts from index 0 and ends at the length of the string. So if we are not going to give this start and end, it will automatically start with the first character, okay, and it will go automatically till the end of the string, okay, last character of the string. So if we are not going to write, or otherwise, first of all we can do one thing, that if you want to check from here, so it will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So if you will start from 9 and if you will go till 64, then you can see that only it will occur 3 times, because from here you are starting ninth index, it means from here you are starting. So from here you can see 1 2 and 3, only 3 times hello will come if you will start with 9. Okay, but if you are not going to write these things, for example like that, then you will get 4. It means it will start with automatically with index 0 and it will go till the last character. Okay, so that was the point that we should know about index, sorry, count. And then we have find. Find means we want to find the first occurrence of that substring, so that we can use, for example, if we want to do str5, and in str5 we want to find that where we have this word python. Okay, so where we have this word python, so that we can check python. Okay, so where we have python. Okay, so same, if we are not going to write that start and end, then we can check that what we will get. So str5 find python. So you will find that python, okay, first time it is occurring at index number 18. So index number 18, so that you can check 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 is space, and then for 18 you will get python sp. So that you will get that python will start at index number 18. Okay, first time, because python is again there. Okay, but you will get the first occurrence for index of the first occurrence that you will get. So similarly we can use these functions. I will share this list of built-in functions. Then index we have starts with that we can check is alum, is lower, is upper. So is lower, is upper is just to check that your string is in lower case or not. Okay, it will be true if the string is non-empty and has all lowercase alphabet. It means if all the characters are lowercase, then only you will get true for this function is lower. Okay, so that we can check str5 dot lower dot lower. Okay, if you will check str5 is lower. Okay, is lower means it will check that is this string 5 all the characters are in lowercase or not. Okay, you will get true if all the characters are in lowercase, otherwise you will get false. Okay, so you will get that true. Why? Because we have all the characters in lowercase for str5, that you can check here. Okay, so if you have, for example, str1, if you are going to check hello world, so in which h is capital, w is capital, it means it is in uppercase. Then if you will check for str1 and is lower, okay, so then of course you will get false. Okay, of course you will get false. So is lower, is upper. So is upper means all the characters are in uppercase, then only you will get true, otherwise false. Is space means true if string is non-empty and all characters are white spaces. So is space means all the characters should be otherwise non-empty or some white spaces, like blank tab you can use, new line you can use, or carriage return like /n, /t, /r. Only these type of characters you can use. Okay, if you will use any particular alphabet like HELLO like that, then it will be false. Okay, so only these type of characters with /n, /t, /r or spaces you can use. Okay, is title, so is title will check that all the words. Okay, so every word starts with capital letter, then is title will return you true. So ls strip, so ls strip will do what? String after removing the spaces only on the left of the string. So if there will be any space in the left of the string, it will be removed for l strip. Okay, left strip. R strip, so it will remove the return the string after removing the space after, okay, only on the right of the string. So if you have in spaces in right of the string, then that will be removed with R strip. So strip means it will return the string after removing the spaces both on the left and right side. So it will remove spaces if you have, okay, whether on left or on the right of the string. So let me check that thing. For example, if we have str7 and we have some spaces, like first of all we will take some space, then we will write hello, and then we will write python and then we will have some space. So we have spaces how many times? In left also, okay, in between these two words also, and in right also. Okay, so if you have this type of a string str7, then if you want to remove left space this thing, then what you can do, you can write str7 dot l strip. Okay, so then you can see that before space just before hello was removed. Okay, if you want to remove this space that is in the right of the string, on the right of the string, that also you can remove, that we can remove with the help of R strip. It means that we can do. Okay, so in str7 only right space will be removed. Okay, if you want to remove spaces from both side like left and right, then you can use simply strip function. So before that we have to write str7 dot strip, and it is a function, so this parenthesis we have to give. Then in that case you can see that there is no space before, or we can say in left of this string and in on the right of this string, both the spaces have been removed, but in between space will be there. Okay, in between space will be there. So replace, you can replace a particular substring or character. Okay, if you want to replace, then you can use this replace. Join, if you want to join all the characters with some character, so that you can do like with the help of join. So let me show you about join. That str7 dot join, and in join if you want to join with this. Okay, so str7 what it will do, simply it will, or for str1 we can do, so str1 dot join, and then this hyphen we are using, it means all the, this hyphen will come in between all the characters. Okay, str1 dot join. So let me check that what we are getting. str2 and then str1 we should use str2 dot join. Okay, we have to store this in a string. Characters in the string have been joined by the separator. Okay, so first of all let me check that what we have in str1. Actually, in str1 we have hello world and this str2, in str2 we can store this thing. Okay, so what we have in str2, then after that if we want to join str1 with join and then str2 if we are using. Okay, let me check the syntax. Join we are using, str2 we have to put first, then str1 we have to provide as a parameter. That was the point actually. str2 we have to write, okay, because we want to use as a joiner. Okay, uh, with str2, and str1 we have to write like this. Then you can see that all the characters of str1 will be joined with the characters that we have in str2. Okay, so for that first of all we have to store this joiner, we can say, or this hyphen in a string, then only we can use. Okay, next function is partition. So I will provide you this list and one by one you can do this, and you will get example also for this, so that also you can try with this example. So there will be nothing difficult in that, but we can use this thing that capitalize. So what capitalize will do, simply it will capitalize with first character will be capitalized. Okay, so first character of your string will be capitalized and others will be, okay, in lowercase. So swap case means if your character is in uppercase it will be changed into lowercase. Okay, and if it is already in lowercase then it will be changed into uppercase. So swap case means it will be changed, that case will be changed. So capitalize means only first character will be capitalized, okay, and others will be in lowercase. So if you have anything, any character of your string in uppercase, okay, then only first will be capitalized and rest will be in lowercase. So let me show you one thing, that if you have str1 and here what we have, h is capital, w is capital, but if you will write str1 dot capitalize, then the question is that this h will be capitalized and other characters will be already in lowercase. So this w will be in lowercase or in uppercase. Just check on your Python editor. Capitalize means only first character will be capitalized and rest of the characters will be changed into lowercase. So this w will be in lowercase. Okay, even in your original string if you will write it in the uppercase, after capitalize it will be changed into lowercase. Only the first character will be capitalized. Okay, so these are the list of built-in functions. So I will share this list of built-in functions. Okay, so name of the function and then description of the function is there, and some example is also there that will help you to understand the use of that function. Okay, so that was about a string. Next we are going to switch to the thing that we discussed, that we will try to